All right, guys. Welcome to Lakehouse Live. My name is Ash. We are in Lakehouse Recording Studios, and I have Tony and the Kiki with me today, and I am so excited to have them here. So we're going to start off just by letting them play a tune. So take it away, guys.
So goddamn sweet, crashing on good Judy's couch. I don't know my whereabouts. One more time, can we get it one more time? No New York notoriety, and what the hell sobriety? Skiing slopes on Orchard Street, never know who you might meet. Figure nudist colony, New Year's finality. One more time, we're gonna do it one more time. Unforgettable nights I can't remember. One more time, was it May or last September? One more time, excitement stands across my mind. I don't wanna rewind. One more time.
Okay, so that was their new song, Unforgettable Nights. Everything that you guys are going to hear today is music that's unreleased by them. So if you're tuning in now, you heard it first here, which is really exciting. But thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate having you guys here. I'm so excited today. So why don't you start out with telling me a little bit about Tony and the Kiki and where this whole thing came from?
Sure. So let me think. So I've been making music with Rodney since like 2010.
It's a long time.
And yeah, it's a long time. We've kind of run the gamut of like the different styles that we played and the different kind of music that we made and sang and performed. And then I was on a tour right out of college and I met Paul, and that was like 2014. Yeah. But at the time, I was kind of in the mode of just kind of trying to make as much money as I could doing music, which is really a great idea. So I wasn't really so interested in like my own stuff. I was trying to get other people to hire me as a singer and a performer and whatnot. So yeah, I was just kind of like being a chameleon and kind of like putting on a bunch of different hats and just, you know, whatever they wanted, I would give them, and kind of like lost
my spark of like why I started this in the first place. And Rodney and Paul were always very encouraging about like, we should do something else, like something a bit more catered to you, and so in like 2017, we were like, okay, let's do it. Like, enough talking. You know what I mean? Like, musicians can talk about starting a band like as good as they can do anything else and just not do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, let's do it. We booked a venue. We did a couple cover shows. And that was like 2017, 2018. 2019, we started to like kind of write originals. Pally had some trunk songs. We were just kind of like piecing them together. And the pandemic happened. So after we finished crying about that, we kind of pulled ourselves together and we're like, okay, well, we have all this time. We don't have any gigs for the foreseeable future, maybe never again. So let's just do what we want. So at that point, we brought on my friend Max as a co-writer, and the four of us just kind of went at it and, took the little scraps that we had, or even some of the songs were kind of almost done too, and we just worked on them. We wrote new lyrics, we worked on the arrangements. Yeah, and then we went into the recording studio. We recorded at Dreamland Studios.
Very cool.
In Woodstock. Yeah, it was super, super cool. We banged it out in 3 days and then spent forever in post-production.
Of course, as usual.
And then we released music. That was 2021. In the summer of 2021, we started releasing our own stuff. So that's
and it's all got such great traction too. Like just even to see the music videos that you guys have put together, like truly fascinating, like amazing cinematic work, and to see like you really shine in those. It's like you're a true performer. It's absolutely beautiful to watch.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a ham, and so are they. We wanted to have something that could kind of highlight that and be eye candy first. You know what I mean? Be something catching and vibrant and fun to watch, especially when we were putting them out or making them. We were still kind of in the shadow of the pandemic. So we were kind of like, okay, well, we need to like inject some color and sparkle into this world because like it was looking pretty bleak. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't watched their YouTube channel at all, they have a ton of covers that they did in the last year. They have some great originals that they released, and the music videos are just like unbelievable. And to say, like, to your point of, just like injecting color into the world, like that's exactly what I get from it. It's almost like very out there and warming at the same time. Like you don't even know what emotions you're feeling.
But you're
they're all
feeling
good. Yes, you're feeling them, and it's wonderful. And I was going to bring this up a little bit later, but you guys have put out some covers of songs that are super unconventional in the ways that you did them, like being able to play Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
That's an original.
Wait, seriously?
Paranoid is an original, the one that we did.
So then you did War Pigs.
War Pigs. We do War Pigs, yeah.
Cut that. I remember you doing War Pigs.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's okay. I'm going to fuck up too. So yeah, you guys did like so many different covers. I got to see like You Make Love and Fun, which is like just like an unbelievable song, and to watch you guys do that cover was wonderful. And War Pigs too, like, and Back in Black. Oh my gosh, like it's truly amazing. Like check that out on Spotify as soon as you get done with this video, please, because it's so wonderful. So really, like, what was your reasoning behind choosing these kinds of songs?
I think that I've always been obsessed with classic rock, and it's like full, organ, guitar, like just as it is, the arrangements as is, and I've always kind of aspired to like crazy singers, you know what I mean? So when we were talking about like it was very like what's the word, like logical, or it was very like
organic.
What is it?
Organic,
yeah, no, but like we needed to do it. Like we needed to put songs out on like YouTube. So we were like, we had some originals. We were like, okay, let's do some covers. So it just happened to be like that. I was listening to AC/DC a lot, and I was like, oh my God, let's do Back in Black. But I was like, I don't know that I can sing all that, like that's a lot of that,
Yeah.
for like 3 minutes. So, okay, let's change the key. And then we're like, well, okay, well, if we change the key, like, why don't we just like change the whole vibe? And we're like, what's the opposite of AC/DC? And we're like, Erykah Badu, maybe? So we just were like, okay, let's put those together. And then me and Rodney got together and and made it happen like one summer day, and we just kind of played with the chords and the voicing and what is the chorus going to be like, and and it was like kind of just happened, and we were like, this is a silly little thing that we're doing, we didn't really think that it was going to be a viral moment, which it was. And it's kind of how a lot of people know us. Which is so funny because like you write a record and you record a record and then you're like, let's just like make a cover, and everyone's like, oh yeah.
It's so true. But I think that's also, it shows so much talent to be able to take a song that's, iconic and classic from years and years ago and turn it into something so different. And that's almost kind of like an amazing way to get yourselves out there so that people notice the original music. Mm-hmm. They hear that and they're like, whoa, this band can do this. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine what their original music sounds like.
Totally.
So
yeah. And
really cool.
A lot of people were really excited about it and like joined the Kiki and like are our fans, and a lot of people are really upset about it. And,
I love them most of all.
And and we love them most of all because they run up our engagement on our content.
Oh, we love a hater.
We love the haters.
Kisses to our haters.
Kisses to our haters.
And so do you want to go in a little bit to talk about some of the songs that you are playing today, since they are all originals and they're music that we all haven't heard yet?
Totally.
What was the inspiration behind them? Do they all kind of have like a similar vibe? Love to hear more about it.
Well, anytime we go into writing, we kind of always have the show, like our set in the back of our head, and like what do we need more of? What do we need less of? Where are we losing the audience? Where are they really turned on? How do we play into that? So that's kind of like where any of our ideas kind of come from. Is like, okay, well, how's this going to be when we like do this in front of people? These songs all kind of live in different worlds, but like the one thing that unites it is like the 1970s.
Cool.
Which is a decade that I'm obsessed with, as so many of us are.
As our bangs will show.
Our bangs will tell on us. But yeah, The Drifter is like straight up like our way of like exploring disco, just kind of like in its purest form. It started as an idea that Rodney had, just about like more so like conceptually, and then it became this like disco song with like a little bit of like a cowboy vibe.
Love that.
and then Unforgettable Nights is just kind of like, once again, like we wrote these songs later, like in 2022. But once again, like it was like Omicron, so like the pandemic was still kind of like, oh my God, are we ever going to be able to like have fun again? So this was just kind of like our exploration into nostalgia of like a New York City that we were in as like 20-somethings or teens or whatever, and just kind of like reminiscing on that, and like, just kind of like waxing poetically about like what that was like, and like that kind of feeling of, oh, it's over, I want to do it one more time, but that's it, I just want you to do it one more time, just for fun, I don't need to do it all again, just like that, one night in Soho, like I just need that one more time, like maybe even 2 hours, So then that song kind of like just kind of it came from a fragment that Max had, and we just kind of like worked with that, and it's just kind of like 70s.
Very
funky
collaborative too.
Pop. Yeah,
between all of you. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I think we kind of pick up where each other leaves off. We have a lot of things where we're like on the same page, and then we have a lot of things where we're like on different sides of the spectrum, and I think it's great, and I think it's really fun. And yeah, for a while it was kind of like, oh, like we don't have like that one thing that is us or whatever. And I think we do, and it is us. You know what I mean? And whatever the genre that, we have to put on Spotify or whatever is kind of irrelevant.
Absolutely.
And then the last song, Holy Ecstasy, was just kind of like, it started out like that song was like, oh, what is this song? And it kind of had like a Brandy Carlisle feel at first, and like we were kind of doing this kind of like I don't know, like Southern rock thing, and it was just not hitting. So yeah, we were like, okay, well now how do we let's take the song and put it in like 1978 New York City CBGB. What would it sound like? Yeah, and that's Holy Ecstasy.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that you guys do is very New York, and that's because you guys spent a lot of time there, whether it be traveling to go to shows and stuff, but also growing up there. You guys are from there, right?
Yeah, I'm from the city. Rodney's from upstate.
Wow.
And then everyone else kind of from all over the place. But yeah, I'm from Queens.
Wow. So you really got to be like in the thick of that for a long time, which is amazing. I mean, growing up in the city, I can't imagine the culture and the nights that you have and the days that you have. When I go to the city, it's still overwhelming, and I've been going for years and years just living in New Jersey.
Right.
And even, you know, walking down the street in Asbury Park on a busy day, I'm like sometimes overstimulated. So it really shapes you for like taking on the world, basically.
It does. It does. In good ways and bad ways.
Yes. And thank you guys for making the trek out here, because I know it's not easy to get here, and we so appreciate you guys coming to our little city by the sea and
We love it.
spreading all of your beauty. Okay, so we are going to let them play their next song. It is titled The Drifter, so take it away, guys.
You descended gracefully, glowing like a dream. I was hooked on sight unseen, with so much left unsaid to say. About that night, you drifted my way. Palo Santo wafted in the air, virgin eyes and perfect bedroom hair. Honey talk, parted lips, painted jeans upon your hips. I drifted into you. Talk about you knew me in a past life, while unbuttoning your pants. Hey, you gave me soul connection, butterflies. I never really had a chance, 'cause you're the drifter. All you'll ever do is drift away, drift away, drift away. Just a hot drifter. He'll promise you forever, but he won't stay. No ties to anyone, forever on the run. He's the 3 months later, guess who's back in town? I move on, the drifter comes around. Apologies, honeyed lips, something about the moon's eclipse, but now I'm on to you. Talking about your Venuses in Scorpio, and the stars above could see romance. But boy, you're full of shit, and now I know, 'cause we've already done this dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's the drifter. All he'll ever do is drift away, drift away, drift away. Just a hot drifter. He'll promise you forever, but he won't stay. Don't say you weren't warned. He'll ghost you in the morn. He's the I don't need you anymore. Drift on back right out that door. Find some other trick to play. Go drift off and drift away. I don't need you anymore. Drift on back right out that door. Find some other trick to play. Go drift off and drift away.
I don't need you anymore.
He's the drifter.
Come back right out that door.
A hot drifter.
Some other trick to play.
He won't stay. Huh.
I don't need you anymore.
Drift away.
Come back right out that door.
Drift away.
Find some other trick to play.
Drift. Ah. Drift away. Just a hot drifter. He'll promise you forever, but he won't stay. 'Cause he's the drifter. All he'll ever do is drift away. Just a hot drifter.
All right, guys, thank you for playing that. That was absolutely amazing. Definitely got the disco cowboy vibes, and I'm already envisioning a music video where you're riding some kind of horse and like your hair is blowing in the wind. So like, please make that happen in the future.
All we ever want. If anyone watching this has a horse, let us know.
Cowboy boots, everyone has to wear them, even Pally. You can't wear Doc Martens all the time.
They'll have to be vegan cowboy boots.
They do have to be vegan. Okay, so I have a weird question. It's probably not that weird. I feel like you may have gotten it before.
Okay.
But this kind of comes from my generation of music, and I feel like it's around yours as well. But when you were forming Tony and the Kiki, was your inspiration actually what a Kiki is, or did you kind of take it a little bit from the Scissor Sisters song "Let's Have a Kiki"?
Okay. A couple things. It definitely comes from the term Kiki, which is like queer for a hangout,
Yeah.
a convo, a party.
Early 90s black gay community term for just like chilling, kicking back, gossiping.
Exactly. I love Let's Have a Kiki by the Scissor Sisters. I love the Scissor Sisters. That wasn't necessarily the reasoning behind it. The main reason, where the name really comes from, is my mom had a brother who was fabulous florist, out gay man in the 70s, 80s. But unfortunately, like so many, he passed away and he died of AIDS. But before that, you know, he was my Uncle Jimmy, but as a baby, I couldn't pronounce Jimmy, so I just called him Kiki.
Oh my gosh.
So he was just Kiki, and he's always been Kiki. And so, yeah, so when we were going through band names, we were just like, we had like the worst band names. Like we were like, this one isn't that bad. It was like Tony y las Flores or something like that. And I'm like, well, you know, like I speak Spanish, but like, you know, they don't speak Spanish. I'm like, that's just not it. And they were like, okay, well, me and Pally are vegan. Like, let's be like Tony and the, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's so bad. And the Satanists. Literally, it made it onto the website of our first show, like Tony and the Satanists. And I was like, that looks so bad.
Oh my god.
It looks so bad. I was like, okay, that's not what it is. We're like, snatch that. So then I was just kind of thinking like, okay, well, what do I want to have when I sing and I play with my friends? Like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's a Kiki. And I was like, wait, no one has called their band the Kiki yet? And I just like looked it up and no one had. And there was the Scissor Sisters song. And I was like, thank you. You know?
I love that. That's absolutely amazing. And to tie that back into your family. I mean, obviously, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I know that was definitely probably a hard moment. But it seems like you were able to take a lot of inspiration from that person in your life and really kind of help shape how you grew up. And
totally.
Absolutely, like, you know, translates into your band, too, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
We love when there's a deeper meaning.
Yeah. And I think it really affected my mother in a big way. And then kind of how she came into the situation of having a queer child. Yeah, I mean, she, having gone through all that, and even before he passed, like, you just, like, all the bullshit that he had to go through being who he was, when she was with my dad, and they were like, okay, we're going to have a family, she was like, you know, I could have a gay kid, like, what say you? And he was like, I was like, that's cool. Like, my dad's super chill as well.
That's awesome.
But the thing that's really touching is that, like, my mom and, like, all of that conflama was, like, you know, she had a moment where she, like, prayed and she was like, if there's a gay baby that needs to be born, like, let me have it because I'm equipped. Like, I know what to do. Even though I don't know what to do, like, I know what to do.
Wow.
And her prayers were answered.
Her prayers were definitely answered. And that's really beautiful too, because I think that it's very tough to grow up in an environment where that's not accepting. And, you know, I've had family members specifically that did have to grow up that way and, you know, ended up like exiling themselves from their parents. And that was really upsetting to watch. And you know, you see that all over the world now. And we're like we made so much headway with it, and then like people are just trying to go backwards sometimes, and I just don't understand it still today. And I can't imagine being in the gay community and being queer and having to go through having people not accept you. And do you have any advice for any of the people watching today, and the people who are musicians, artists, anyone that's growing up right now that's having to go through those situations?
Well, like, that's why rock and roll is so great, because it's like it's founded on rage and joy and being unapologetically who you are, and being big and loud and being queer. Little Richard invented rock and roll. Little Richard was very queer, and that's why people loved him. Even though they couldn't say it then, like, that's what they loved, in addition to his incredible musicianship, So I think for me, if you're an artist and you're a young artist and you're queer and, in whatever variety that may exist for you, I don't know, it's kind of like, if you don't feel accepted, you can put that, it's like a catch-22, because like you make art and like you want people to enjoy it, but like you really have to make it for yourself, because if you make something that's like everyone loves and you hate, like what's the point?
What's the point?
So it's kind of like, will you find the thing that you love and like love that so hard, do that so hard, forget about what other people are going to think about it, because there are going to be people who hate it. Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, it doesn't matter. Like, there are always going to be haters, there are always going to be people who judge you or who don't get it. So I don't know that it's necessarily a queer thing, but like as an artist, it's kind of like you have to find the thing that you love and like ride or die for it, and hold on to it for a long time, even when people are like, I don't know about that, or like, I don't think that's going to work, or that's kind of weird, or that's like corny, or that's whatever. Like, fuck them, and then as a queer person, so much is changing, but like so much has not changed. So it's kind of like, find your community, find your family, find your people who love you, people who support you, people who see you in, in your most divine state. That's like the most important thing. And that's in addition to like the blessing of having my mother be who she was. That was really where I got kind of like my confidence, even to sing. Like, it was always my friends. It wasn't necessarily a teacher or a music director, but it was always my friends being like, oh my God, you need to do this, all gassing me up. And looking back, it's like they were celebrating my queerness. They were celebrating my voice being a gender non-conforming voice, and uplifting that and supporting that, while teachers were knocking it down, being like, oh no, stay in this little box, like do this thing here. My friends are like, no, fuck it, keep going, sing higher, can you sing like this? Like, I'm like, no, I can't sing that Mariah Carey song. You guys are crazy, but like them believing in me, you know what I mean, really kind of gave me my chutzpah. I still can't sing the Mariah Carey song. What doesn't matter is because I'm like aspiring to it. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah. And oh my God, your range. So like I'm sure you can if you really, really, really tried. But I think, to speak on the rallying around with friends, that's always the family we choose. And for anybody out there that feels like they don't have that, we're all here. Like, it's open. There is some kind of door that you walk through. And I think a big encouragement too is to get out there. And even if you feel so nervous and so afraid to do it, like, go to that show that you think, you might enjoy. Go to that art exhibit, go to that event that's happening, because you're probably going to find people that are like-minded and that are going to give you your confidence, and they're going to push you, and they're going to accept you're queer, and they're going to accept whoever you are. So, I think as much advice as we can give to people, go into that group of people that you can find. We're all here. We're all out there. I mean, especially in Asbury Park, especially in New York City, those are two places that are synonymous when it comes to just being different. And so,
and that being celebrated.
Absolutely. And that being completely celebrated. So, I want everyone to feel like they're welcome wherever they go. And, these are two places that if you're going to go anywhere, New York City, Asbury Park, we accept you.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So before we let them play their last song, Holy Ecstasy, do you guys have any words, anything else that you'd like to say to the audience today?
Check us out on Instagram and Spotify and TikTok and Apple Music and all those things. Follow us at Tony and the Kiki, TonyandTheKiki. Yeah. Should we talk about our shows that we have coming up?
Yeah. So you guys are you're kicking off Pride Month in Asbury Park, like
Hell
in
yeah.
a big way.
Hell
So
yeah.
at the Stone Pony.
Yes, following the iconic Indigo Girls.
Heck yeah. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, they're going to be slaying outside, and then we'll be on the inside stage after their set, which is super exciting. And then we're also going to be in Philly on the 3rd at
Ortlieb's.
Ortlieb's.
Love Ortlieb's. Great bar. That actually, if you guys have never been there, it kind of feels like you're in the Black Lodge where you're going to be playing.
Okay.
Like if you're a Twin Peaks fan at all, it's really amazing. Just like red curtains. It's like a little back door feel, like when you walk into the stage area. I love it.
Okay, love it. Okay, so Ortlieb's. And then we'll be in the city on June 16th, venue to be announced. But that's like our little like Pride mini tour.
Love that.
Emphasis on the mini.
Little tri-state area. We love that.
Tri-state, yeah.
It's
Tri-state
not easy too.
top. No, it's not.
Traveling is the worst.
It is.
And before we go to, I almost forgot, but we have been doing our little question moment. So basically, everyone who comes on the show, there's a box of or a bowl of questions that is in our lobby, and people just put random ones in there, and I just pick a random question and I ask you guys to answer it. And it might be really weird.
Okay.
It might be really normal. So let's do this.
Uh-oh. Do you pick it or do I pick it?
I pick it.
Oh.
Okay. I'm really nervous.
As am I.
Okay. What is your favorite zodiac sign and why?
My own.
As
Sagittarius.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, Jimi Hendrix and Tina Turner are Sagittarii, so like, need I say more? Yeah, I don't know. I think that like, yeah, no sign is perfect, but the thing that I like about myself and my sign is like the like forward kind of moving thing, and just like, you know, I just imagine like it's like how I see it is like, I know they say it's like a centaur, but like I just imagine like it's like one of the, it's what is this, bow and arrow, but there's like, it's like from the Addams Family, Wednesday Addams, it's like fire on the end of it. Like that's how I visualize myself as a Sagittarian.
Very dominant.
Yeah, and just like makes something happen, and sometimes that gets me into trouble, but oh well.
I love that.
Teehee.
Rodney, what's your sign?
I am a Cancer.
Oh my God, me too.
Yes.
We love a Cancer. We'll like hold grudges and take care of you. So just like don't
nurture.
cross us.
Oh yeah.
I'll journal about it really strongly.
Paul, what's your sign?
I'm not at liberty to say.
We actually know your sign, so you
better
have to say
frickin'
it.
say it, or we're gonna kick your.
Language.
Beep, beep, beep.
I am a Pisces.
Yes, you are.
Water sign. Fellow water sign.
It's very emotional in here. You're drowning in water signs right
Is
now.
water emotional? Water signs are emotional?
Yes. Don't act like it. It's all under
Paul's
the
like,
surface.
I think I had one of those last year. One of what? An emotion.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Let's let you guys play your last song. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Seriously, like such an amazing experience. You guys are a cinematic dream on stage. Yeah. So take it away playing your last song, Holy Ecstasy.
Sounds good. Child, I'm sweating like a whore in church. Oh, your sweet brown eyes knock me off my perch. And no, I can't hide, I don't care who sees us. Babe, we go together like a hookers and Jesus. Oh.